On this edition of CPS360, a Hickman wrestler makes history, Global Village returns to Rockbridge, and we take a look inside the newest high school in Columbia.
CPS360 starts now.
Yo, what's up, CBS 360? This is Will I Am.
A new business has opened here in Columbia to provide a twist on a popular exercise.
Isabel Bouchard brings us the heat on hot yoga.
New to the Columbia area, Summit's Hot Yoga gave yoga a new reputation.
Physically, it's just an amazing, I feel like I've had a good workout, but I'm completely relaxed at the same time. I've stretched all my muscles, but I feel very strong, and that feels really good. And mentally, it's just a relief to be done because it is very taxing, but it just feels so good when you finish. It's like an accomplishment.
I love the healing aspect, and it's like movement through meditation through movement. I love that. I love the heat because it increases your flexibility and reduces your chance of injury. And it's brought, the heat and humidity brings a lot of healing to arthritis. And so I have really bad knees from running and snowboarding and stuff, so it ended up bringing a lot of healing to my knees, and I can do all of those things again, and it doesn't hurt.
And although you may think yoga is an exercise primarily for females, some men would tell you otherwise.
No, not at all. Yeah, before I did, yes, but my wife started coming here first. And I asked her were there other guys coming, and she said, yeah, there's a few. So I thought I'd signed up. I'm hooked. I'm addicted.
Every week, more and more people discover hot yoga and enjoy a unique workout experience. For CPS 360, I'm Isabel Bouchard.
Speaking of new things, the engineering class here at the Career Center has created a new sign to signify the transition Jeff Jr. will be going through next year. Our own Marissa Jackman brings us the story.
At the Columbia Area Career Center, students are given opportunities every day to use the real-world skills they learn in their classes. But in room 134, the Intro to Engineering Design class was given a chance to put their name on a project that would last for years to come.
Jeff will be created into a middle school next year, and it was the first school that was built in Columbia on that piece of land. And so we're just kind of commemorating it, really.
The signs that were created were then judged by a panel of former Jeff Jr. principals and administrators who seemed more than impressed by the talents of the kids.
So we came out this morning to see where the students were in their progress on these and their design proposals. And we had probably about 10 presentations this morning, maybe slightly less than that. But each group or student who did the presentation had great ideas, and everybody had a little something to contribute to this. Took our preliminary thinking way beyond where we were. We had students who even went out and did contacted people and did pricing for us. So obviously the students have advanced our thinking in a long way this morning. So it was a great experience for us. I hope it was for the students as well.
Although the sign would signify a new chapter for the 8th and Rogers location, the rich history of the property itself has not been forgotten.
Jeff Junior High School is going through a change next year. They're going to become Jefferson Middle. But the property that Jeff Jr. sits on is the oldest property that Columbia Public Schools has owned. They bought that property in 1881, and so it's been a number of different schools. It was at one point there was an elementary school there. In 1906 they started building Jeff Jr. In 1910 they finished it, but it wasn't Jeff Jr. then. It was Columbia High School. And when Hickman opened up in 1927, Columbia High School became Jeff Jr. So that building has been a pretty significant piece of history in Columbia Public Schools in that area. That piece of property is a pretty significant piece of property.
And with the help of the committee and those funding the sign project, the kids in room 134 are going to be able to make their visions real. For CPS 360, I'm Marissa Jackman.
Every year, Global Village brings cultures from around the world to the halls of Rockbridge.
Alyssa Pico brings us a scoop on the annual week-long event.
The United States is commonly called the melting pot because it is filled with variations of several cultures. Similarly, Rockbridge has its own melting pot and sets out a week called Global Village to celebrate these cultures.
It's kind of a day because Rockbridge is a very diverse school. We get to experience so many different cultures, but a lot of times you don't realize how many people people are from different places on a daily basis at school.
The week is separated into different categories each day, such as music, dance, fashion, and food day. Each day showcases the different cultures in a specific way.
I think my favorite part is honestly the last day, which is Global Village, when you go around to all the booths and you get to try food and get to try on all these different outfits, and then you just get to see the culture at Rockbridge, and I think that's really cool.
I thought the dancing was really cool, but the food has to be the best. Definitely.
The food day is usually a combination of all the categories of the week. The music fills the halls, students wear traditional clothing, and food is distributed from several booths. Through Global Village, the diversity unites the students.
I think it's kind of maybe unite us a little bit to bring awareness to other cultures for people. And it's kind of there's countries you didn't know existed, but it's kind of cool to see what they do and what their dress is and what their food is.
The week is very special to many students as they can show off where they come from and experience different cultures as well. For CPS360, I'm Alyssa Pico.
Global Village brings a lot of diversity to Rockbridge.
Diversity has also been added to the schedule choices at Rockbridge. Christina Young brings us a story on a new course offering.
What's making a splash into Rockbridge High School? Rockbridge's new class zoology is a cool class that everyone is talking about.
I took zoology for a couple reasons. One, I like to learn about animals that I don't really know about. Two, I heard you get to dissect frogs and clams and squids and a baby shark.
Zoology is a fun class where you learn about different animals and about how they function and live.
We dissected a squid and took out the main components like the beak and the eyes, and we took out the siphon, which is the bone in the back.
Not only is the class new this year, so is the teacher, Miss Trice, who the students seem to love.
Okay, well, one, I took this class because Miss Trice is my favorite teacher ever, and two, I want to take a field trip to the zoo.
She's really good about just helping you out and stuff. She's really nice.
While learning about different animals, students also take notes, watch cool videos, and dissect animals.
Today, we dissected squids. It was a lot of fun. As you can see, I got my little squid friend right here. Just set him right there. We just, investigated the squid, internal, external. We learned a lot about it, so it was a lot of fun.
Not only is zoology a class to learn about different animals, it also allows students to dissect a wide range of different exotic animals.
Well, we learned about animals that you don't really hear about, like cuttlefish, clams. We learned about squid. We're learning about squids right now, and just stuff like it dissects things. Just learn about animals that you don't really know about.
Students also take the class to help their future plans and careers.
I want to be an aquarium curator when I grow up, so I took zoology to be able to get experience in marine science before I major in it in college.
All in all, zoology is a fun class that students seem to enjoy while learning about different types of animals. For CPS360, I'm Christina Young.
Now we have a sneak preview of Columbia's newest school, Battle High.
As we approach the end of the 2013 school year, many see it as a beginning rather than an end. Battle High School will be opening in the fall, and students are eager to see the brand new interior. Let's take a look at what Battle has to offer. With the building's unique shape, almost every classroom has a window view. Each grade will have its own separate wing, making it easier to arrive to class on time. Battle also boasts a panoramic view of the football field, which can be seen from the cafeteria. The new high school offers students state-of-the-art athletic facilities both indoor and outdoor. And there's a sneak peek of Battle High School for 3PSC60. I'm Parker Adam.
Now it's time for CPS 360 Sports.
Hickman wrestler Jaden Cox made history this year at the state wrestling tournament.
Ashton Day brought us the story.
Jaden Cox has been here before. In fact, he's been here 3 times. He knows the atmosphere with the mats laid down and the stands full. But this year, he is the main event.
Whenever you start going somewhere pretty often, you kind of get used to it, you kind of feel like you know it.
With a 205-3 career record, Cox is familiar with what he needs to do this year.
I'm not nervous of where I'm going or what it's going to be like, but I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the matches.
This year, he is competing for his 4th state championship in 4 years. But no state title compares to the respect that he has earned in the wrestling community.
Basically anyone who just says good luck, good job, or you're an inspiration, just anybody really is supportive of me, that looks at me and sees a role model or just sees someone that goes out there and enjoys what he's doing. I think that's support, alone. Anyone that cheers for me or even cheers against me, as long as they just say, at the end of the day that you're a good person, and we love watching you wrestle, I think that's supportive at all, and that gives me more incentive to do what I do.
As the day goes on, the match grows closer. The crowd stays to see if Jaden Cox can make history.
Against Jaden Cox,
it's a pride thing. Like, this is who you are. You represent this thing that's so much bigger than you, and I think that's another reason it's a lifestyle. You represent everybody here.
Being in the 285-pound weight class, Jaden Cox is wrestling people more than 50 pounds heavier.
I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to wrestle. I'm going to prepare. I'm going to fight. I know that no matter what, I'm not going to give up. And in the end, I'm going to be happy either way. I've loved every year I've been here. I regret nothing because the road that's been paved for me is a very good one. It's very, very clear, very wide, and very open, and there's a long way to go still. So I'm very grateful for what's ahead of me.
Exceeding expectations once again, Jaden Cox has become the 22nd wrestler in Missouri State history to win 4 state championships. The future holds anything for Jaden, maybe even an Olympic appearance. For CPS360, I'm Ashton Day.
Another group of athletes also made history at state.
Brad Meister brings us a story on Rockbridge girls basketball.
The Rockbridge girls basketball team is trying to make history with their 2nd straight state title against St. Joseph's Academy out of St. Louis. The Bruins fell in an early hole with Erin Nielsen getting off to a hot start, scoring 15 of her 22 in the first half. And the hole became even deeper in the first half with the NBA range 3 by Barden. And then the Bruins continued to fight and battle with a contested layup through the whole entire St. Joseph's defense by Lori Frew. Barden was on fire from deep with another NBA range 3 to put the Bruins down double digits. And the St. Joseph faithful are up on their feet. In the second half, Sophie Cunningham was an unstoppable force, starting off with a quick 3 in transition. And then later in the second half, Sophie again with a nice give and go, and then the entry pass from Shayla Cheadle, and then the and one. Sophie Cunningham would then later make the free throw. On the next possession, Sophie gets the ball in the low post and then punches it in. The Bruins' defense was just too much in the second half, only allowing 9 points. Hannah Dressler, who tore an ACL against Hickman earlier in the season, was able to check in and play in the last 10 seconds of the game. And the Bruins, too much for St. Joseph, and they bring the title back to Como for the 2nd straight year.
March is the month for one thing and one thing only.
Or in other words, March Madness. Brett Wise brings us the details.
There's nothing quite like it in the world of sports. So many possibilities, so many different outcomes. All of them could become true. There's nothing quite like an NCAA tournament March Madness bracket. The madness that is associated with the month of March is back, and stronger than ever with no clear favorite to win the tournament.
It's against my religion to bet except for the month of March.
where I'm involved in about 15 pools right now. All $5 to $10, winner take all, know about that. It's a man's month. It's March. Manly March. There it is.
I just like all the upsets. I like seeing that dark horse come and just smash up on the big teams, and it's just, you never know what's going to happen. I just kind of like the mystery behind it all. It's just something fun. Love it.
I love that there's basketball on when I go home for lunch. I love that there's basketball on when I get done with work. I love that there's basketball on all night. I love basketball.
For decades, experts have been trying to come up with a formula for picking teams in the NCAA tournament. And well, here we are so far.
I like to pick by the chronology of the alphabet.
Just do something like rock, paper, scissors, flip a coin.
I just kind of picked on the mascot, or eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I have a rule that no number 1 seeds can get into the Final Four.
Well, usually I do like a 3 to 4 hour study on each team. I break down every single player, look up their talents, weaknesses, and then I usually flip a coin.
I also like to pick by the team's colors because I think their colors speak a lot about them.
No matter what method people use, it just sometimes doesn't seem to work.
I think I was like last in my little tournament.
My bracket kind of sucked because I had Mizzou going all the way, and then they kind of blew it against Norfolk State first round, and then I gave up after that. It's just like, I'm done.
My bracket started out 16-0, and then the Tigers lost on Friday and ruined everything. I tore it into pieces.
So who will win this year? Will it be number 1 overall Louisville? Or will it be another 1 seed like Indiana? What about Duke, who has the hardest schedule in the country and is motivated to redeem itself from last year's first-round loss? Or what about Miami, a surprise team that has dominated the ACC conference? Will there be another Cinderella story this year, like Butler and VCU in the past? Or will their clock strike midnight in the first round? Only these next couple of weeks can tell us. So let the madness begin. For CPS360, I'm Brett Weiss.
That concludes this edition of CPS360.
See you next month.